Greetings, we're back, and we are now walking through the tutorial of a blinking circle. Very exciting stuff, but I gotta start somewhere. And processing has that advantage that it is actually a bit of eye candy to start off with until you start getting into more difficult, more complex algebraic thinking, programmatic thinking. You're going to be looking at some very basic images, and actually some very complex images. I won't, I'll let you explore on your own through all of the sketches that are available through open processing. You will be amazed. Now, I want to edit this sketch, so I click Edit Sketch. And when it loads, you will see in a moment that nothing has changed, really, because right now my goal is to understand the code. So we've as we discussed earlier, this is the integer. It's been declared counter, and don't forget the semicolon at the end. That is very important for processing. You forget that and it will cause problems. In fact, I'll show you what it does. Remove that and I'll run it, and it's going to tell me, oh, look at that, the line 1 is missing the semicolon. Now this is very nice, and hopefully you'll get that every time you have a missing semicolon, but don't expect it to always work. Pay attention, it's just one of those things. Alright, so void setup. This is a dynamic setup function called initially, only once. Then you have your size. This is the size of the window, as we discussed, and a void draw, counter. Now the plus plus, you're probably looking at these different colored objects here. So let's take a look at plus plus. What does that mean? We're going to go back to our reference, and let's Control F to do a search for plus plus, and right down there, increment is what it does. So we grab that, take a look at it, and this is why processing.js and processing.org in general is so exciting, because the code is open. You can do the same, of course, with Python or JavaScript, etc., but you don't get the immediate satisfaction of seeing your application running quite so well as you do with processing. So let's go back, take a look at the examples. So plus plus, let's zoom in here. Alright, so increment, integer a equals 1 semicolon, set a to 1, integer b equals a plus plus. So b is set to 1, and then increments a by 1. So it's 2. So now integer c equals 2. Increases the value of an integer variable by 1, equivalent to the operation of I equals I plus 1. A very basic structure you'll see everywhere. So let's take a look at, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and copy this right here because it's useful for me. And that's the point, is that you can go through and edit your code, copy paste these codes, and begin working on them to understand them. Add 1 to the counter right there, that's what it says. And you know what, I'll go ahead and add my own note. Yeah, we're getting some weird JavaScript behavior. See how it's overwriting some of the text? I don't know why it's doing that. So I'm going to add my own note. I'm going to paste it, and there's going to be plenty of purists out there who say that I'm making a mess of my code, but it's my code, and in order for me to understand it, that's how I'm going to do it. But you can see that there's definitely some wonkiness in this JavaScript editor. I will definitely be posting that to the developers to let them know that there is something of a problem here. Because you see when I click on it, it jumps. And that's not very good. That's bad. In fact, it's really bad. You can see how it's overriding it. So I'm going to pause here to see if I can find some way to fix this. Thank you for watching, and again, this is tutorials of processing. You can learn how to program on your own by essentially walking through the code and commenting it as I am doing now. If I can just figure out why it's doing this duplication nonsense. Thank you for watching, and happy computing.